Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you will receive alerts when there are new episodes. Go get it.
That's what I tell them. I've been grinding for so long, I wake up and chase my goals. I go out and I go get it. How to code, that's all I know. I don't succeed, then I don't breathe. Success, what does it mean? If I conquer all my goals, then I'm living out my dream. Dig deep, go out and get it. Success Chronicles. Compete until it's finished. Success Chronicles. Go take care of your business. Success Chronicles. It's deeper than just winning. Success Chronicles.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Chip Baker coming to you with another hangout and highlight session. I'm with my guy Q Devon, and man, always a good time to chop it up and hang out with him. And great guy doing some really neat things in the entertainment, interview, social media spaces, and has been doing that for a while. And so, man, it's always good to connect with him and link up with him. So, man, good to see you. Thanks so much for taking the time to hang out.
Hey man, no problem, man. It's good to see you, brother.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me come through.
Yeah.
Hey man, I'm looking forward to the convo, man. It's definitely always good to build with a brother, man. So
Yeah.
triple salute to you.
I know every time we get together, man, it's a hot session. So I would expect no less.
Right. As you should. As you should. As you should.
That's awesome. Indeed. Well, man, what we're gonna do today is just do a kind of a year in review. We've kind of talked off air about, some of the things that's going on personally with us and some of the things that we're looking forward to in the new year. And so let's just kind of start. If you want to just kind of hit on some of the things as far as, that you've gone through this past year.
Okay.
We'll just kind of talk about some of those things, man.
Sure, indeed. This year, of course, it's been very, very interesting.
Yeah.
I think that there's probably a lot of ways to really answer that question. Well, not so much a question, but a lot of ways to talk about how the year has impacted you. What I've noticed is that with this year has really helped me get back to my creative space because I've realized how short life is and how much to appreciate the moment. So because of that, aside from, the tragedies and the injustices and all of that was going on, but because of all of that, interesting enough, has now got me to, get back into the creative space. Case in point, when you talk about, police brutality, stuff like that, that can help you want to get in your creative space as to raising awareness, as into trying to do things to push, the Black culture forward. You know what I'm saying? Along with collaborating with other, other ethnicities and things like that from a human standpoint. So that has really, that was one thing that kind of helped push me to that space. Another thing with COVID, because of just how the world changed in a social sense. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like now, everything is not normal just to get up and go somewhere, right? I mean, it's still cool, but I gotta be masked up.
Yeah.
Everybody is switching it up. So it's like your home was more the safest place, or probably more one of the places that they recommended you be. So now that you have to be home, whether it's work from home or just being home, right? Then now it's like, okay, what can I do while I'm here? You know what I'm saying? You can find stuff to do around the house, but it's like, okay, now I'm home. I'm in this environment. What can I do, right? And I realized that while being home, the more creative, the more creative you become and the more things you find to do in a sense of creativity, then it kind of helps offsets the thought of just having to be home all the time because you're in. So those are kind of like two of the main things and how they impact me.
Man, I love that, and I wholeheartedly agree too, man. You think about the whole COVID stuff, the injustices. Throughout the year, my mother passed, and so all of those things are things that have you, thinking deeply and reflecting, right? And so I think when you think deeply and reflect, it allows you to go to that place where, like you said, now you bring the creativity out. What can I learn from this? What are the blessings and the lessons that can come out from this? How can I use what I've learned to help others and help make our world a better place? How can I connect with like-minded, like-hearted people that have gone through and are going through the same things so that we can grow together, right? And so for me, it's been some of those things, and I think it's been cool too, because a lot of times, like those grandmoms used to say, boy, y'all better get somewhere and sit still in there. Boy, hush up, y'all get somewhere and sit still, right?
Right.
And a lot of times in our life, we want to sit still and be creative, but when you're a mover and shaker and you're trying to do things, you really don't ever take time to do that. And so I think this has really forced us to, boy, get somewhere and sit still, and in your sitting still, like you explained, it allows us to get the quiet time. When have we ever had time to do some of the things that we've been able to do during COVID? Ever? Like when have we ever had like home time, like ever in your life, to do that? And so, man, I think that those have been some of the things for me and what I've learned as far as my year in review as I'm going into the next year.
Yeah, it's interesting you said about your mom passing. My mom passed in June.
Oh man,
right back at you. What month was your mom?
May.
So
yeah.
Again, the thing about it is that when you experience a death like that, you know what I'm saying? It really, you're trying to. Well, first and foremost, it opens you up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's an open wound. So now everything that affects you emotionally, it has the type of impact to where before the death, right, it would just be a normal emotion. You would experience it and do whatever you do to get over it. But now after the death, it hits you even more. You know what I'm saying?
It just hit different.
There you go. There you right. I like how you said it just hit different. So with that, that creativity, whether it's just doing interviews, you know what I'm saying, or doing podcasting, you know what I'm saying, or if it's just anything that's kind of like in that area, that becomes therapeutic. You know what I'm saying? Because it just kind of helps you to process that with talking and thinking, and you're doing things, figuring things out. So that becomes therapeutic. And it's sad to say that, hey, maybe if we didn't have a year like this, maybe the creative side, a lot of us would not have tapped into it even more. And that's one of the beauties of your platform, man, is that I can tell that it's well, first off, it's consistent. Second of all, it's creative. You know what I'm saying? It's creative. I mean, and you're covering all avenues. You know what I'm saying? From the what's on your hearts to, like you said, the hangouts and the highlights. Like, there's a real connection there, and that's not something that's easy to do. So I would say, hey, I'm pretty sure this year has kind of helped you, like, hey, strengthen you in some of those places, man. And
man,
maybe you could tell me a little bit about it. Hey, enlighten a brother, highlight a brother.
Yeah, I think for me, man, first off, I want to say thanks for saying that as far as the consistent and the creativity about the platform. Yeah. I think that's, if that's one thing that people can say about me, like after I go visit the big man, if they can say that I was consistent, you know what I'm saying, man? And I think that would be awesome for me. I would feel that I would have left a legacy, if people can say that. And that's what I strive for day to day in everything I do. I want people to know, what you're gonna get every time you talk to me. I want you to know what you're gonna get from Chip. You know what I'm saying? Like without a doubt. And everything I do, I strive to have consistency. And like you said, the creativity, it surprises me on a day-to-day basis, man. Like, you get in that, for like pushing yourself to be better, to be the best version of yourself. Like, what you gonna do now, Chip? Like what you got now,
right.
And so, just pushing yourself. And it's been cool, like you said, like connecting with the what's on your hearts and the hangout and highlights and the topic sessions, along with the Success Chronicle episodes and all of the people. And, the beauty of it is, we can all learn from one another.
Yeah.
And so that's what I've strived to do, man. And once again, I appreciate the kind words about the platform, man. Just trying to get it,
Well, the thing is, man, is that it's a war, man. It's a war with yourself when you're trying to be consistent, because you're getting pulled left and right. There's so many other things, going on that impacts you. That impacts you on the level. And one of the things is about being creative, which I always admire about you when talking with you, is that, your home office, you got your books, you got things in there, right? It's situated in there, right? So that's I could tell that, that may not be your only space, but that's one of your creative spaces to where you go in and you could probably be in the kitchen, right? And then go in your office and come up with just something like, that's your space, like that's your environment. It's kind of similar to like a classroom a little bit, where a classroom is a learning environment for kids. So they have posters and pictures and colorful things, right? And I'm talking about like elementary school. So you go in that environment, right? But if you took kids outside without just sitting outside learning, that may be a little different for them to develop and come up with ideas, critical thinking and stuff like that. So you have to build an actual environment. So that's what I like about you, is that you have an actual creative environment to where that, hey, you could just look at it and see, or go on your IG page and just look and say, okay, you know what? This guy is really, you know what I'm saying? He's yeah, okay. He has, he's grown his following. He's, you know what I'm saying? He's covered all angles in the sense of social media. And also, too, talking with you, you can see that he has an actual environment, even down to the book. You have a book as well.
Yeah, 4 of them boys.
See, that's what I'm saying. So, I mean, I don't know if you would say this, but would you say that this is probably like the most work you've got? Well, would you say this the most work you've got done this year? Or would you say you've had stronger years?
No, I would venture to agree with you, man. I think, and I would say yes, but then on top of that, I would say yes, because it's been on purpose and intentional. Come on, and so I would say that because one thing about me is, like you said, I started for consistency, but it takes discipline to be consistent, right? And so I strive to be disciplined and, eliminate the distractions and do all of those things so that I guard my space for what's important to me, my family, my faith, my, creativity, being consistent. Those things are important to me. Okay. So I'm really structured and focused on that. Now, yes, getting into, I'm a maximizer. If I know that I'm going to have, an extra hour of time somewhere next week, well, I've already planned in my head, oh yeah, I can do that during this time. And so, man, when we hit the COVID, I'm like, so we got to be at home, huh? Right? So we can't go to, we have to be, okay. So, man, I went back into editing, making some clips, some cut-ups. Man, I got my LLC. I put out a book. I created a clarity chart that I'm gonna do to train and teach people on to get clarity in their life. I set up a system through my LLC. Under my LLC, I got 7, things arms underneath it, and I've set up systems for 5 of those already. And this all of this is during the time that we've been in COVID, right?
Okay.
And so, like, to me, coming out of this, it would not be good if I didn't take advantage of the time to get better and advance myself. And I couldn't live with that, man. And so that's what it's been for me, man. It's really been, yes, I agree, probably the most productive time for me. But I think it's all in the mindset and perspective. If we look at, oh, poor me, this happened, oh, poor us, all of those things. Well, what we have to do is shift our mindset, and we have to make sure that we use it as an opportunity to learn and grow. Because even in those times, and I'll share this with you too, I'm writing a book about my mother, and I started that during COVID as well, and so, we can, look at it as, horrible situations for us, which it is, realistically, it's horrible situations for us. But what are we going to learn from those situations? How we're going to grow through what we're going through, and then how we're going to use what we learn to be a blessing to others. Because it at the end of the day, it ain't about me, right?
Right. And you hit, you touched base on a lot of good things there. I would really just agree with you, man, that, it ain't about you. It's about, you know what I'm saying? It's just not, you know what I mean? So thing is that I think that, I was just, going back a few months back, and I saw how TikTok took off with the family videos and how everybody was just up there dancing and stuff like that. So, that was a sign of creativity. Like everybody, I felt like the stronger COVID order, or let me say this, the stronger the stay-at-home, the stronger the stay-at-home order became, right? The earlier the bars closed, the more the restaurants did curbside, and the more masks that was required. That creativity level just within an individual, you see what I'm saying? You saw it surge. So you saw, even on a national scale, you saw news broadcasters being created, shows that we would look up. Even I was watching the show with Drew Barrymore, and they have a technology, I don't know if you've seen it, but it has a technology where me and you could look like we're in the same room.
Wow.
But you're there and I'm here. But, in fact, I want to say Oprah might have interviewed Barack Obama, President Barack Obama.
Yeah.
And they use that technology, but it's a technology that, was, you know what I mean? You could actually use it, and it really looks like you're interviewing the person like right there. So
crazy. On
a national level, local level, I call this the year of the creators. You know what I'm saying? And I think that, with next year upon us, is that you're going to see, you know what I'm saying? You're going to see exactly who's been creating what. In other words, what everyone's been doing. But it's definitely, that's all you really can do now is create. It's no rules. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing. You can get you a computer, get you a microphone, get you a software, whatever it is, form an LLC, write a book, design some clothes, make some oils, you know what I'm saying? Sew some clothes. So that's probably like the best thing about this year is that this year has taught me, as well as my peers, just you, and people just in our circle, man, to be, I can get more done now. I can be, you know what I'm saying? Now, I was creative in the midst of that when the interstates was busy, but now nobody on the interstate, nobody on the road. Right. You see what I'm saying? Now, guess what? You can get your groceries delivered. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to go nowhere. So now, guess what? You can sit right here and go get it and get the job done.
And go get it, baby.
Yeah. So that I like that, man. I like that. But I would also just say, man, that it's amazing, you know what I'm saying, to see the type of things that like everyone is working on, like with, you know, food businesses, man, and just coming, and not just Black people, all cultures. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, yeah, it's good. It's just good to see that. So that was one of the things, man. And kudos to you for writing the book, man. I mean, that's what's up.
Yeah, thank you, man. I think you know, one phrase that I've heard a bunch, and you kind of hit on it, but you didn't put it in the phrase. But I think, you know, it's important to create in crisis. You know,
boy, you be coming with some.
Come on, man.
You be coming with some stuff.
Hey,
creating crisis.
Q, I tried to warn him, man. We warned him.
Hey, you did.
Hey,
you did.
Hey, man, it's important to create in crisis, and the ability to create in crisis comes from us having awareness. You know, first of all, to see that, hey, there are some avenues, but then even deeper than that is the mindset and the mentality about which we do what we do. You know, and so you have to have the proper mindset and know that, you know, whatever you come across, you can beat it. You know, it's just a matter of you know, realizing that, hey, you can. And like I said before, you know, just finding the blessings in each of the lessons and taking those and using those to help you be better. And in this quiet time, it's perfect time to do that. You know, in your sit still time, it's perfect time to, man, just be better. And it's crazy. Like even before we got on this call, man, I made a get to do list. I'm looking at it now. It's got about 8 things on there. You know, like, you know, we were brainstorming, talking about some things earlier, but like, man, I was just gonna tag that get to do list. You know, right. by the weekend, I got to get these things done, and so it's always great when you can do that, and it gives you a sense of accomplishment too. Man, I'm really proud of the fact that I've been able to, you know, use the crisis for opportunities to create, and you know, I've been able to use the crisis for opportunities to create things that I know that will help my family and help those that I care about. You know, and so, man, I'm really looking forward to that coming into the new year, and I think 21's gonna be savage.
Savage, man.
21 savage.
21 savage. Oh, I like that. Okay, I caught that. You stay with something now.
Man, come on, man. You got to pay attention, man.
I got to keep up, man. So let me ask you this. I always like to ask this question to all my brothers I'm talking to, man. As far as the mental health space, man, how you kind of, with what everything that's happening, like say your mom and all of that, man, how you kind of dealing with that? Like, you do your therapy, or what you read, or pray, or how you handle yours?
Man, you know, I'm glad you asked that question. First off, I think I'm a really private person, and I don't really just talk about and share a lot about the things that I'm going through, because you know, I don't think people want to hear all that. They just want to see the baby. They don't want to hear about the labor pains. Right. Only just go through that, but I think we have to get better on putting those things out there in a safe space with safe people that will guard it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's different. You know, like you're legit concerned is why you're asking me. You know, but like if I felt that you were not, then I don't know. I'm good, Q.
Right.
You know? But man, it's been good. I think for me, a couple things that have helped me, and I'm not gonna say I'm completely through it. You know, I'm still working on some things. You know, this was the first Thanksgiving, first Christmas without both of my parents.
Okay.
And so, I mean, it's been a really, man, mentally, it's been a really tough one for me. But what I've been able to do, man, is really just hold firm to my faith. Continue to, be consistent about, being, in the faith and, those kind of things. Surrounding myself with, like-minded, like-hearted people that are creative, that have gone through or are going through similar things. Just like you asked me, how'd you do? So I'm the same thing, man. How was it for you? What'd you do to get through? And I think, I'm a person that stays busy too. So I think a lot of the times you get so busy and you get caught up that sometimes you really don't get to think about it until like it's Thanksgiving Day. And
right,
like, you look around, you're like, oh
right.
man, this is not good, But man, that's just some of the things that I've done, faith, try to, I think another thing too, Q, and this is one thing that I can say that I would suggest for everybody, and this is what I strive to do. Like when I get in a position to where I'm feeling a little low or down about some things, I find ways to help others. Right. So I'll tell you a prime example. Other day was Christmas, right? And so I'm thinking about, again, like it's heavy on my heart, man. Like it's the holidays, and both of my parents, like it's the first holiday that, like both of them, it was like my father passed a few years back, and then my mom just so I had one,
right,
and this one, like both of them, none of them, and so I'm like, man, like this is crazy. So then what I do, I just reach out to one of my other buddies that I knew. He just lost his wife during COVID. So I just reach out to him, hey man, just checking on you. The next thing I know, we're communicating. Then I reach out to another guy that lost his father, one of my buddies that I grew up with, probably a month and a half ago. Hey man, just checking on you. And so before I know it, I've communicated with like 6 different people. I hadn't even thought about anything I'm going through. I'm just helping trying to look out for them. And what it's done, man, it's really just helped me put everything into perspective and be grateful that I was there to have that time with them, with my family, be grateful that I do have people in my life that look out for me and ask me about, man, how you doing? How you holding up? You good?
Right.
And so, just shifted to an attitude of gratitude. And then now that helps me to take one step forward to get better in it.
Right. So, I'm just hearing you talk, and I'm just thinking of the word selfless. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so neat, man. You're blessed, man. You're a blessed brother, man. Because, I asked you a question, about it's just so crazy, man. I asked you a question about how you were dealing with the grieving process, right? And the you know what I'm saying, the selfless in you. You talked about how what helps you with the grieving process is being concerned about others and seeing how they're doing. So you're really killing 2 birds with 1 stone, because you're helping yourself, but you're also helping somebody else. So with you saying that, I think that's kind of neat, and that's very, very special, because that probably feels, the grieving feels a lot better than as opposed to you're feeling that way, right? So you say, well, I just find stuff, to do, or I might go treat myself to this or that, right? But no, you're saying, hey, look, I know somebody else who's probably feeling like this. Yeah. So I'm going to reach out, check on these guys. Let me see how they doing. Yeah. Now I'm helping them, but I'm also helping myself. Yeah. So that's special. That takes a special person. For me, I think with the grieving process, what I've been dealing with it is, there are times I get low, and I like when I get low, of course, the tears come. Yeah. They right there. You know what I'm saying? So you let them come, release them. And I just kind of do things that I know that she would like to see.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like as simple as vacuuming the floor. That's something I know she would like to see, right?
Yeah, man, that's good stuff.
So I do things like that, going in the office, developing stuff and stuff like that, you know, and just making sure that I'm enjoying each moment of life. Also, too, this is one thing I learned about just with the death of my mother, and I'm pretty sure you can attest to this, man. That because it opens you up so much, you do have to now reevaluate who's around you. Because if the frequency and the energy ain't right, then guess what? It's gonna tear you up. So you gotta make sure that you got the right people. You make sure you just got the right relationships, both professional, both personal, but selfless. That's what I'm hearing, man. Did I get that right?
Man, I think you hit the nail on the head. I mean, it's not that I was striving to be that. I mean,
right.
It's not that I was. That's just what I know. You know, I've tried to live a life of that, man, and that's what I was taught. You know, even in times in the midst of where we didn't have anything growing up. You know, I saw my mother give to others.
Okay.
You know, when we had nothing. You know. And so it's I think it's just important to do that. And I think when we do it, it helps us be better. And one thing you hit on it, I want to kind of talk a little bit more about too, is you talked about being in the moment, you know, like the moment with the tears and the moment of feeling low and what you do. I think it's important when we are growing through those tough moments. And I say growing through, not going through. When we are growing through those tough moments like you and I are doing or in the process of doing, it's important to really just be in the moment and enjoy the moment. You know, like when you said that about, you know, like the tears right there, you know, just let them come.
Right.
Like, just you know, enjoy the moment and be grateful for the fact that you can, you know, shed a tear or 20, you know, and have happy thoughts about, you know, the experiences and, like you said, the simple things like, boy, go vacuum that floor, you know,
right.
You know, like the simple things, man. And you just enjoy being in the moment and taking the moment in and reflecting. And I think that's another thing that I didn't talk about that I really do.
Okay.
As far as just being in the moment, man, like, I think time is valuable. It's a limited commodity.
Right.
You know, so we really have to make sure we enjoy the time that we have when we have it. And so it's important to, yes, you know, do your thing, you know, be successful, you know, go get it. But really, you know, the secret sauce, you know, your presence is the present.
Right. It is. Yeah. It is, man. It is being in the moment. Man, sometimes, man, I found I have so much creative ideas that I get overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like do you feel like that sometimes, man?
Yeah, I got to get it out. Like I have to put it on paper or put it in my notes or put it somewhere because it's so much that's flowing.
Yeah.
And I'll just tell you this, like as you said that, it made me think about this. So I don't know if you've seen the movie Soul yet. But
I haven't seen it yet. Is it good?
It's amazing. Like
the cartoon movie.
Yeah, it's a Disney.
Oh wow!
I mean, it's amazing. The story, you know, in there, it's a music teacher, and so I'm a fourth generation educator, and my family are church folks and educators and musicians. Right. My mom and my grandmother were ministers of music in our church, so I felt every bit of that. And you know, like he's going, you know, to death, and you know, he gets to before he's like final, like they take his soul and like it's evaluating, you know, his life. He's able to look back on his life, and like it's really a good story. I'm actually gonna watch it again.
Oh wow!
It's a really good story about life and reflecting and being in the moment, man, and just really evaluating your actions.
Okay.
Evaluating, how you operate, evaluating how you treat people, evaluating, your intentions, your heart. I mean, it really takes you to that place. And it made me think about, my family, my mom, and like seeing the guy playing man, he was bad on that piano. I mean, like he was amazing, right? I'm thinking to myself, man, I can remember moments just watching my mom play, like thinking those same things, like being in church. So like my grandmother, she was like classically trained. Like she went to college for it. She played Mahalia Jackson. And like my grandmother did all that. But my mom, she didn't. She played by ear.
Okay.
And so I would be like, we would be in places or church and people would sing and she would just play along, never heard the song or whatever, and just play along with them. I'm like, man, this is crazy.
Right.
So, just I'll go on a rant too, just saying, just being in the moment, reflecting all of those things. And it's great to have great memories like that when you're in the moment and you just take the moment in.
Take it, man, just take it for what it is, man. And that's just, hey, man, it's so crazy, man, that you said this because, I know me and you had a lot of sessions, man. Well, not a lot, but we've had a good bit of them.
Yeah.
But one of the things, the jewels that I got from you, man, and I don't think I got to share this with you, so I'm glad I actually get to share this with you now. But you said, you told me one day, you said, Q, you said, I'm going to try to paraphrase it, and maybe you can remember how you said it, but you said, every thing or every moment is like a life or death.
Yeah.
It's like, you remember saying that?
I do.
And I always think about that, man, like in my daily thinking, that this makes a lot of sense. And you said everything is like I can't remember, it's on one of these ones we did, but you said everything is like a life or death. Or it was something to that sort. But I just think about that in terms of what's going on. It's like, okay, you know what? You're going to live through this or this is it. Then it's like, okay, you go to the next moment. You live through this or this is it. And you go to the next thing. So it's like that, man. Just you break down the math like that, man. You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad you brought that up, man. And it's so true. Everything, every opportunity, every moment, we talked about moments that we're blessed to have. Like every decision that we make is really life or death.
Yeah, that's what you said. That's what you said. That's what you said.
Because like each decision that you choose to make can bring life to you, or it could hinder you and bring death to you. So we have to put, stack those choices, stack those decisions, stack those on purpose, intentional actions. We have to stack those. And as we stack those, we continue to get life, but what we don't realize, Q, is that it allows us to give life to others as well when we do that. Because like we talked about earlier in the session, it ain't about me.
So so back up. So you're saying what allows you to give life when you maybe expound on that for me. I need to catch that.
Yeah. So prime example is you and I here in this session.
Right.
Okay. So first off, you chose to be here.
Right.
Right. Your time is valuable. You don't have to be here.
Okay.
Right. I chose to be here with my guy Q.
Okay.
My time is valuable.
Right.
But first off, we chose to be here.
Right, we did.
And I think the reason we chose to be here is because I know that you have value with what you do. Right.
Right.
And I dig what you do. And so just in that choice of each of us choosing that, it has allowed us to be here. And the things that we've talked about, we didn't even know we were going to talk about these things.
Right.
Come on.
Right.
Follow me.
Okay. So take me there.
We didn't even know we were going to talk about these things. Okay. Before we got on, you didn't know my mom passed. I didn't know your mom passed.
Right.
Okay. In this session, we've talked about some things that we have done or are doing to help us get through what we're growing through in Q, man, it's some people that's gonna watch this or listen to this that's going through the same thing, and it's gonna bring life to them. And it all started with you choosing to hang out with Chip.
Right.
It all started with me choosing to hang out with my guy Q.
Right.
And so
circle of life.
I'm learning so much through this session with you. I hope that you have learned some things kind of from what I said as well.
Yeah.
But man, even bigger than that, bro, like everybody that hears this or listens to this or sees this, like they're gonna gain something from it too, which will hopefully give them life. So every choice, every decision that we make, it's life or death, man. What if we didn't do that this evening? What if we didn't choose to get on here?
Right.
Somebody would miss out. Like we missed out on the blessing to hang out with each other.
Right.
Now I know that, hey, I got to make sure I check on Q too.
I know I got to make sure I check on Chip. So I see. So now this becomes food for someone else. So when they watch this, now they eat some of it too.
Come on, man. I talked about the movie Soul. Come on.
You did talk about the movie Soul.
Man. Come on.
Okay. I see. I see what's happening. I see. Hey, man. This is man. This is God above, brother.
Yeah.
Boy,
and Q. Let me tell you this. Let me expound a little bit more on it. Okay. So I'm a sports guy.
Okay.
You're an athletic guy yourself. And we know that when you do things, reps make you better. Right.
Okay.
So as you do more reps, and like you said, we've done a few sessions, right? And each time it's been hot. It's been great, man.
Right.
And each time I feel that it's gotten better. And so now when we leave this session that we're having now, it allows us to be more aware about our intentions and our actions on a day-to-day basis. And know that like our time is valuable, right? The value that we can add to others, it's important, it's valuable. Man, we about to go create some stuff. Man,
don't call me, I'm creating now.
I'm supposed to be doing something else here in a little bit, but I think I'm gonna chop this video up because somebody needs to hear this.
Hey.
Somebody needs to hear this, man. And so, man, that's what it's all about. And it allows us, man, to add so much value to the positive ripple effect in our world to help make our world a better place.
Yeah, man. It do, man. Man, this is, man. It's just so something, man. It's just crazy, man. That, and not to say that I don't think it's a God above, but it's just God has a way of reminding you.
Yeah. Just
reminding you, hey, there's that notification across your phone that I am here. Here is what I stand. Here is where I stand. And I got you brothers covered. Yeah. I want to bring you brothers together. I want y'all to talk. And you just said, now you makes you want to chop it up. And even me, like, man, you know what? This guy just got to get out. It's got to go because somebody needs to hear this. So we now, it's like we like chefs, man. We cooked it up. Now it's time to serve the people, man. We got to serve the people.
That's it, man. Serving the not the 3-course, like the 6-course meal.
6-course.
It's good. It's good, man.
Yes. Yeah, man. I think that's how you ended them. It's nothing even I could say to come behind that.
Mic drop, baby.
Hey, that's it, man. We just gotta get it out there.
No, but man, Q, man, thanks so much, man. It's always a good time. Like I said when we started, always a good time hanging out with you, man.
Yeah.
Excited for you, seeing the growth, following you, all of the great things you're doing, man. I wish you continued success.
Hey, man, I appreciate it, man. Right back at you. I see what you're doing. Hey, man, I'm looking for you on TV soon. You in many areas, and hey, I write back. If I can be here to help, whatever, man. You just, you know, yeah, you got my number. You know where to find me at, man. And
get it.
I still got to get out there and check your barber out, man. That barbershop you went when you had that fresh line, man. I gotta pull up, man. You know, I'm gonna come check it out. One of those days, man.
That's awesome. I got you. You
okay.
get here, man. I got you. You take it care of.
Okay.
Well, man, Q, man, thanks again for taking the time to do the Hangout and highlight session. And thank you guys for checking out this session. We'll see you next time. God bless.
Peace.
Go get it.